Let's just get straight to it. The most successful people in the world, they don't just work harder, and they don't necessarily have more information than you do. What they have is a different operating system for their brain. They literally see the world through a set of powerful lenses that filter out all the noise and reveal the hidden opportunities. Today, we're not just going to talk about these tools, we're going to install them right into your thinking. This is a masterclass in elite thinking. The reason intelligent people make disastrous decisions isn't a lack of information, it's a lack of framework. We'll show you the single most powerful shortcut to elite thinking, the 5 mental models that instantly upgrade your perception and guarantee smarter results. Now, that's not just a promise. That's a diagnosis of a fundamental problem we all face, and more importantly, the blueprint for its solution. Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to unpack this paradox of why really smart people fail so often. Then, we'll diagnose the brain's default settings that cause this. After that, we'll build the elite thinking framework piece by piece, understand the psychology of why it works so well, and then, and this is key, give you a precise protocol to start using it immediately. And finally, we'll talk about your new mental operating system. So let's kick things off with a problem that, honestly, should keep you up at night. Why do the most brilliant people, I'm talking engineers with PhDs, seasoned executives, make these catastrophic errors in judgment? We see it all the time, right? Incredible projects that just fail. Genius strategies that backfire. It's not because they missed some piece of data. That's almost never the real reason.
The real problem, the real bug in the system, is that their framework for thinking, the very lens they use to see reality, is flawed. And here's the kicker. Intelligence can actually make things worse. A brilliant mind is incredibly good at justifying a bad idea. It can build these complex, logical-sounding arguments to support a fundamentally broken premise. So the answer isn't to work harder, it's to upgrade the way you process the world.
So to fix this, we've got to understand the hardware we're working with. You see, your brain is, at its core, an efficiency machine. It's designed to conserve energy, which has led to a critical default flaw in how we make decisions. So let's diagnose these cognitive blind spots that are hardwired into every single one of us. Your brain pretty much runs on what psychologists call heuristics. The best way to think about these, they're your brain's autopilot. They're these fast, automatic mental shortcuts that are super useful for most everyday things, like deciding what to eat or which way to drive to work. They let us function without getting paralyzed by analysis. But they are built for speed, not for accuracy. And that's a huge problem in high-stakes situations. And here's the dangerous result. When we rely too much on that autopilot in the wrong context, it leads to cognitive biases. And these aren't just random mistakes. Oh no, they are predictable, systematic errors in our thinking. They're like glitches in our mental software that run in the background, shaping our most important decisions without us even realizing it. So what does this actually look like in real life? Well, take confirmation bias. That's our brain's tendency to look for and favor information that already confirms what we believe. You think a project is a good idea, you'll subconsciously ignore all the warning signs. Then there's the planning fallacy. This is our chronic inability to guess how long a task will take. You know that project you thought would take a week, but it took a month? Yeah, that's the one. And availability bias? That's what makes us overestimate the importance of recent, memorable information. It's why people get scared of flying after a news report, even though driving is statistically way more dangerous. And these are just 3 of dozens of biases that are quietly derailing us every single day. So look at this. It's like 2 different worlds, isn't it? On the left, you've got the brain's default setting. It's automatic, it's reactive, and it is riddled with these systematic errors. It keeps us stuck on the surface. But on the right, you have the solution. A structured, deliberate system of mental models designed specifically to correct for those errors and show you what's really going on underneath. This is the jump from amateur to elite thinking, and it's the jump we're about to make. And that brings us to the core of this whole thing, the framework itself. And I want to be really clear. This is not just a collection of tips and tricks. This is a complete, battle-tested system for structural thinking. This is the architecture that the world's sharpest minds use to build a more accurate map of reality, and because of that, they consistently make better decisions. The framework breaks down into 3 clear phases. First is multidisciplinary acquisition. That's just a fancy way of saying you need to build your toolkit of core mental models. Second, we have the inversion principle, which is an incredibly powerful way to de-risk just about any decision. And third is synthesis and application, which is where the magic happens. It's the process of combining these tools to get a complete 360-degree view of any problem you face.
Okay, so step 1 is to consciously build a toolkit of mental models from a bunch of different fields. Why? Well, it's like that old saying, right? If your only tool is a hammer, every problem starts to look like a nail. But if you also have a wrench from psychology and a screwdriver from physics, you can see the problem for what it truly is. A great example is first principles thinking, a model from physics. It means you break a problem down to its most basic, fundamental truths, no assumptions allowed. This diverse toolkit is your best defense against the kind of single-lens bias that traps so many experts.
Now let's talk about one of the most powerful models in practice, inversion. This one is a game changer. Instead of asking, how can I succeed, you just flip the question completely on its head. You ask, what would absolutely guarantee that I fail? This simple flip is, well, it's profound. It forces you to see all the critical risks and hidden pitfalls right from the start. It's all about avoiding stupidity before you even start seeking brilliance.
Now here's where it all comes together, because mastery isn't just about knowing the models, it's about combining them. That's synthesis. For any big problem, you should run it through multiple models. Let's say you're launching a new product. You'd use the incentives model from economics. What motivates my customers, my competitors, my team. But you'd also look at it through the circle of competence model. Are we actually experts in this area? Then you'd apply second-order thinking. What are the consequences of this launch in 6 months, a year, 5 years? When you combine models like this, you get a full 360-degree view that a single perspective could never, ever give you.
Okay, so we've got the framework, but why is it so effective? Why does it practically guarantee smarter results? The answer is all in how it directly interacts with and corrects our brain's natural flaws. This isn't magic, it's just applied cognitive science. So it boils down to 3 huge psychological wins. First, mental models actively correct for our built-in cognitive biases. They act like a filter for bad logic. Second, they dramatically reduce cognitive load. That's the mental energy it takes to solve hard problems. And third, they supercharge our ability to recognize important patterns in the world around us. Let's break each one down real quick. So think of your prefrontal cortex, the logical, rational part of your brain, as the CEO. And your biases? They're like that impulsive subordinate who's always shouting out the fastest, easiest path. A mental model acts like a mandatory checklist for that CEO. When you're facing a decision, instead of just going with the gut reaction, the model forces you to stop and ask, wait, have I inverted the problem? It forces your rational brain to disengage that autopilot and go find some objective evidence. And this next point is absolutely crucial. Your executive function, your capacity for deep focus and complex decisions, it's a finite resource. It's just like a battery that drains during the day. That's what people call decision fatigue. And when you try to solve every problem from scratch, you burn that battery out just reinventing the wheel. Mental models are like highly efficient pre-built software programs. You don't have to code a solution from the ground up. You just run a proven framework. This saves your most valuable mental energy for the decisions that really truly matter. Okay, theory is great, but it's useless without action. So how do we actually put this into practice? How do we build this into a real daily system? That's what we're covering now. We've done the why and the what, now it's time for the how. This is your 3-step protocol to start upgrading your thinking starting today. And it starts with this, just 20 minutes. That is the commitment. Not hours of studying, but one short, intense, daily block of deep work dedicated to mastering these tools. I promise you, consistency here is so much more important than intensity. This one small habit compounded over time is going to build the foundation for a massive cognitive upgrade. So here it is, your daily protocol. This is non-negotiable if you're serious about this. Step 1, use your 20 minutes to master one of the 5 core models. I'm talking about things like first principles, second-order thinking, inversion, circle of competence, and probabilistic thinking. And don't just read about it. Write down how it works and where you can apply it in your life right now. Step 2, do the inversion drill for your most important task of the day. And step 3, practice model synthesis on your single biggest challenge. Let's make that inversion drill super tangible. Before you start any big project, just take 2 minutes. Ask yourself, what would absolutely guarantee this fails? Maybe it's poor communication, or a critical bug, or missing a deadline. Write those things down. That list is now your non-negotiable avoidance list. Your main job becomes making sure none of those things happen. You're engineering success by systematically killing all the pathways to failure. Okay, Let's bring this all home. When you commit to this process, when you really do it, you're doing so much more than learning a few new tricks. You're installing a completely new operating system for your mind. You're fundamentally changing how you see and interact with the entire world. And this right here is the ultimate lesson. Your reality is not objective. It's defined by the quality of the frameworks you use to view it. Two people can look at the exact same situation, the same set of facts, and see completely different worlds. The one with the superior framework will see the opportunities, the risks, and the path forward with the clarity the other one can't even begin to comprehend. So let's recap this masterclass. Remember, mental models solve that core problem of cognitive bias and flawed decision-making. And why this matters is that they provide a structural shortcut to elite thinking and pattern recognition. The framework of inversion and synthesis allows you to consciously override your brain's systematic flaws. And, just as important, it conserves your precious executive energy for what truly matters. And this is the final thought I really want to leave you with. Productivity isn't about doing more. It's about mastering systems that make focus effortless. Start with your 20 minutes, master your first 5 models, and begin to see the world not as it appears, but as it truly is.